some that are now suggesting that the potential when it comes to the New England Patriots in the draft is more likely to trade down than it is to select a quarterback or Marvin Harrison Jr. with that number 3 pick.
Correct. Yeah, and I know none of us want that. Like, we all want them to stay at 3, make a pick. Generally, for the most part, it's quarterback. Some of us want Marvin Harrison Jr., but it seems very likely that Elliott Wolf will trade down. He will find a way to get to maybe 6 where the Giants are, 8 where the Falcons are. I don't think he would necessarily want us to go all the way down to where the Vikings are, so that he can make sure that he can get himself either Marvin Harrison Jr., Joe Alt, or Malik Neighbors. I think those are the 3 names that are probably sitting on the top of their draft board because to them they're their most surefire hits and they'll gain assets by trading down.
I mean, if you want, Wiggy said earlier, Marvin Harrison Jr. is not going to be available once you get past 4.
He may.
He's no way.
He may?
He's not. Arizona's taking him at number 4.
Wiggy, Arizona was interviewing Joe Alt for, they loved their interview with him. They are super high on Joe Alt right now. Like, there's a chance that they are interested in taking him at 4, or they're going to trade out of 4 as well. Like, if some team really loves J.J. McCarthy, Arizona will be listening.
All right, so if that's the way they're going to go, who is going to be the starting quarterback for the New England Patriots come September? Who's your guess? Jacoby Brissett?
Probably.
Is there any other, reasonable option? It's not going to be Russell Wilson.
Doubt it. I mean, it could be, but I doubt it.
I mean, I guess that's all if you believe the reports that they're going to go with a veteran quarterback and then get a guy in the draft and have him sit. I mean,
we're talking about a whole thing that they're not going to get a guy in the draft and have him sit.
Well, no,
we're
but
just
so
talking
then
about how they're moving down. So
then JJ McCarthy.
So you mean they're going to
if they're going to go down, then they could still get JJ McCarthy.
So you think they're going to? Are they? I don't get you.
Wait a second.
Well, you guys are saying Jacoby Brissett, and then so that is if you believe the reports that originally came out that said that the Patriots were going to get a veteran quarterback, then get a rookie and have him sit behind him.
No, the question I asked was, who do you think is going to be the quarterback?
Correct, and you guys all keep saying veteran quarterbacks.
Well, that's my question. If it's, are you suggesting that they're gonna move down and select JJ McCarthy and he's going to be their starting quarterback?
That's something that could happen.
If
aren't we just all talking hypotheticals?
Yeah, but is that what you? I guess what I'm asking is that what you think is going to happen?
Well, why not just take him at number 3? Why would you trade down and do that?
Yeah,
I don't. So because
you can get something out of it.
We're talking about if they trade down, right? Then that means they're probably in the market for a veteran quarterback. You're asking the question: who is that veteran quarterback?
Yes. If you're Elliott,
the only thing I can think about,
whoever's running the show, as the current president would say, the person in charge of the outfit over there, who are they targeting right now?
There's 4 guys. Baker Mayfield.
Not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
Kirk Cousins.
Not going to happen.
Not going to happen. He's going to Atlanta.
Okay. Jesus, who was the
Jimmy G?
No. Justin Fields. That would be the 3rd guy.
Unlikely, but in play.
Unlikely.
Okay, that's in play.
I think it's unlikely, but it's in play. It feels as though the Justin Fields trade market has taken a major hit lately, and that the asking price has dropped dramatically.
Can I throw one out there?
Go for it.
Would you have any interest at all in Jake Browning?
No.
And Russell Wilson's the 4th guy.
He had a really good offensive coach. He had really talented weapons.
No, not at all.
Something he lacks here.
Those are your 4 guys. Great. Those are your 4 guys. Sorry, Chris. I mean to cut you off.
No, don't say.
But Fields, Russell Wilson, Kirk Cousins, and Baker Mayfield. Those are the top 4.
But 2 of them they're not in play.
No, okay, so
clearly to me.
Right. But then the next level is the Jacoby Brissett's, the Joe Flacco's. Those guys are all backups to a rookie.
So you're not going to have other than somebody that you pick
in the second round.
Second round.
So if you're trading back, the only thing I could see you potentially doing is you're trading down to get Joe Alt. I don't think Marvin Harrison's going to be available because, Shime, you're out on Arizona. Guess who picks after Arizona at number 5? The Chargers. You think the Chargers are going to let him slip? Marvin Harrison Jr.?
No.
They might.
I mean, who has had a better seat to see the greatness of Marvin Harrison Jr. than the guy that's running the Chargers now? I can't see Harbaugh passing on
Right.
him.
So let's get Shime on this, because Shime thinks Harrison is a lock, and now all of a sudden he's going not even in the top 10.
I'm just saying there's a lot of whispers that teams may be more willing to move out of 3, 4, and 5 than there has been for the last couple months.
So here's 6, 7, and if you're saying that they could potentially trade with Atlanta, 6 and 7 are the Giants and the Titans. You think they're passing on Marvin Harrison?
No, my thought is that the Patriots would be interested in trading down to 6 with the Giants. The Giants go up to get a quarterback at 3, and then the Patriots sit at 6, where they're guaranteed Joe Alt, Marvin Harrison, or Malik Neighbors.
Two things on people that say.
What about? Would you have any interest in Dan Dollar?
No, absolutely not. I would actually pay them an extra $100,000 to keep him on their roster.
Two things, Greg, and I don't want to ruin this if it's going to be a lead for you later this week, but the elephant in the room when it comes to the Patriots and not being the first choice of players, being the current climate economically in the state of Massachusetts.
No, we can talk about that.
Okay, so that was immediately after the news of Mike Evans staying in Tampa and the beginning of the rumors of the NFL free agency, which begins next week, is that the Patriots are going to have to go above and beyond, and it was no greater than in the scene of the only team using the transition tag being Elliott Wolf and the Patriots with Duggar yesterday, because you need to pay more than what the top of the market is in order to retain players for two reasons. One, the Patriots aren't close. They no longer get that discount. And two, it is so onerous to play and pay taxes here that you need to pay more in actual money to retain or get players to the Patriots. And I wonder...
And people go, when we talk about this, they go, oh, here goes Craig and Curtis again with the millionaires tax. It makes a difference to those people. Maybe not even them. Maybe it's to their business agent, whatever. They say, listen, you got 2 offers on the table for $7 million. With one of them, you're going to have to pay an additional percentage of it in tax to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
Well, and also, Greg, in this field, not like accounting or radio or anything, Kyle Duggar's how old? 28? I don't know how old he is.
Probably about 27.
He's lived and worked his entire life to get here on the precipice of free agency, and this contract will dictate future generations of his family. There's not going to be another opportunity in 10 years. So when you say, oh, what's the difference, $500,000 or 1.2 or 3 million, this is his rest of his life. And if that's what you're on the verge of in the NFL, you're always ready to have your last contract. And this is his first kick at the can. And it's going to be a factor for these guys.
So I agree with you, but I'm kind of lost where the transition tag, what has that has to...
So the transition tag makes Kyle Duggar have to come back if he gets a deal and the Patriots can match, or they have to give up something.
Okay.
The only reason they did that is otherwise in years past they would say, go to the market and come back to us. Well, they actually had to put strings attached to it, so he physically has to. That's why they use the tag. Otherwise, because if it was all equal, it's not equal. So $20 million with the Dolphins is different than $20 million with the Patriots.
I agree with you. Like guys like Mike Evans can go, okay, I could go to New England and I'm going to make X amount of dollars. If I stay in Florida, no state taxes, I'm going to make X amount of, like the millionaires tax definitely hurts a lot of players and going, I'm not willing to give that up.
Argument against it, I guess, in the Twitch chat where somebody says if the millionaires tax in Massachusetts was that much of a factor, then Boston would never be getting any free agents. Can you name one that the city has, since that tax passed, that has decided to come here?
A free agent?
A legit high-priced free agent?
Well, you got Lucas Giolito, but...
And
I don't think he gave the Red Sox a discount.
Right, you traded for Kristaps Porzingis, so he doesn't count. In hockey, you didn't get an elite guy, but I agree that the millionaires tax will definitely play a factor. And we saw it last year with DeAndre Hopkins, who said, it's a lot cheaper for me to play in Tennessee. I just look at it's a fireable offense to me if you trade down to pick up what? What are you picking up to trade down? It's not like you're trading down and picking up an extra first-round draft pick. You're trading down and maybe
It's the exact same philosophy that was utilized by the guy you all
Right.
told us was a loser.
right, and no one liked it. So if they do that, that's a fireable offense by
It's not
Elliot
gonna be.
Wolf.
How can you look at a number 3 pick and the opportunity to change the complete direction of the franchise if you hit on it and trade down?
You can't. If
But
you're,
Greg, what if they don't think these quarterback, whether it's Jaden Daniels or Drake
Okay.
May, is going to be great?
Can I answer
All right.
that?
You sure?
But-
Well,
Wiggy's been telling me that they all are.
No, but
Well-
let's say they're not. Let me just answer that question for Curtis. Let's say they're not. Who's the best wide receiver in the draft?
Marvin Harrison.
Who's
Jr.
the best offensive lineman in the draft?
Joe Alt.
So if you know the quarterback might not be that guy,
Stay at number 3
stay
and
at
make
number
sure
3
you get one of
and
those
make
two
sure
guys.
you get the, because if you trade down, you run the risk of another team going, ooh, we can go to get Marvin Harrison or we can go to get Joe Alt. So if you're telling me that you know that, hey, these quarterbacks might not hit, but you know Marvin Harrison or Joe Alt or whatever player is the sure lock, you don't trade down and run the risk of potentially getting leapfrog or getting another team to go, like Arizona goes, there's no way we can get Marvin Harrison Jr., so let's go in a different direction. And then all of a sudden, they see New England trade down. They might go, well, wait a second. So-and-so jumped up. Atlanta jumped up to number 3. They're taking the quarterback. Boom, we're taking Marvin Harrison.
Yeah, I just think if you don't take a quarterback, you leave yourself with very little viable options.
But here's the deal. If they don't take a quarterback and that guy turns into a great player, then Elliot Wolf will be out relatively soon. Mm-hmm. If Jaden Daniels is meh, and they trade back, get a left tackle, and then they pick up a receiver and another player in the second and third rounds.
And Joe Flacco?
Well,
Yeah, because
whomever.
you bring up it's not whomever. If you're telling me Kirk Cousins is out, you're telling me.
I think it sounds like he's buying a house in Atlanta.
Right.
Like he's,
and we're following, what's it say? You follow the tea leaves?
Yeah,
Is that what
yeah.
it says?
Tom Curran says there is no house in Atlanta.
And if we're saying we know it looks like Baker Mayfield's going to be out, then
I would think that's why once they got that deal done with Evans.
I would
they're
agree with you. So that leaves 2 guys, Russell Wilson, and you trading for my boy out in Chicago,
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields.
What about Minshew Mania?
No, like those are all backups. Like those are,
I'm into Minshew for a year.
but those are all Jacoby Brissett's. You still have a quarterback problem.
Yeah, but at least Minshew's fun.
He
Like,
might-
like if you're gonna trade down, best case scenario, get me a quarterback who's gonna be a lot of fun. Minshew's at least gonna be fun. Like that's how I look at it.
but you still have quarterback issues.
Yes, Wiggy, I don't deny that. But here's the thing. NFL GMs, sometimes they want to kick the can down the road because as soon as you draft a rookie quarterback, your football life is attached to that player. If that player is good, you're safe. If he's not, you're dead in the water.
Unless
And
you're
so-
Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch.
Sure. Well, yeah, but their team was good enough that they kept winning anyways. So, in a situation like this, it all rests on if that quarterback is good. So, what a lot of NFL GMs would rather do is be like, I'm unsure in this position, kick the can down the road, I'll try again later. And that's, I have a sneaking suspicion that that's exactly what Elliot Wolf is going to do.
But I look back at the amount of top 3 quarterbacks that have failed. I mean, how are they, like the Jaguars? You think they're happy they took Blake Bortles at 3?
I mean, they were when they were in the AFC Championship game.
Okay, I'm talking about the franchise players that have gone in the top 5. If they think Russell Wilson will come here, and they believe Joe Alt is the next Orlando Pace at left tackle, and they get that ammunition, there are a lot of holes on this team. I think it's actually something I may respect more because everybody would take the quarterback at 3, right? That's the
Yes.
conventional wisdom. If you go against conventional wisdom, you open yourself up to more critique, and it shows me that they have a plan. I have no idea. It's really hard to get good. It's really hard to find a quarterback.
Well, you brought up the Cleveland Browns yesterday. You know what the Cleveland Browns did? They took Joe Thomas at number 1. Great player, Hall of Famer. But for the next 10, 15 years, they couldn't find a quarterback. So I understand.
Well, the Bills took Josh Allen. They're, 7 years in? They haven't even gotten to a Super Bowl. So is that a bad pick?
No. I'm saying that, but Josh Allen is viewed as one of the elite quarterbacks in the league. I just always, if you're not feeling the quarterback, all right, I get it. Then you go Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah.
And then you say, okay, if we're going Marvin Harrison Jr., then we need to get Russell Wilson, or we need to get.
Maybe you just give old Mac Jones one more go at
No, you
it
don't.
with a legit
Stop.
with a legit weapon.
Don't you wish that on me, Ricky Bobby?
If you're gonna go Mac,
Might happen. You see him working out and working hard on the no look pass.
Yeah, good for you. How about looking at a pass first so that you can see that there's no defender there?
Greg, Sean, what do you hate more right now, fattening food or Mac Jones?
It's Mac Jones by a long shot. It's not even close.
but
I wonder who suggested that he really ought to, like, his one deficiency was the no look pass. That's what he should be working on.
yeah, let's do what Matthew Stafford does and focus on no look passes. We can't hit a guy that's wide open in the end zone without underthrowing it to a defensive back.
Right, but the no look has a better chance of randomly bouncing off one of your own guys and being caught. So
It also has a better chance of just being thrown to the other team.
I can picture Mac Jones doing a likable clinic, trying to figure out how to get a personality in the offseason.
hey, look, you want to find something crazy? I'd rather Mac Jones over Gardner Minshew.
Same.
I'd rather
Dare
Mac
you.
Jones.
Same.
I'd rather Mac Jones over Jacoby Brissett.
he might very well be here.
I'd rather
if they're gonna
Jake Browning, the other guy you said. I'd give me Mac over all those guys. At least I know Mac is a first round
if they
talent.
don't believe in any of these three quarterbacks
Right?
hitting on it, they may very well run it back with Mac. Like you said, go get Alt or whatever it is, wherever they're at, 6, 7, 8, or whatever it is, and wait until they think there's a franchise quarterback that's in there.
Yeah, because if you're going to get guys that are scrap heap guys like a Gardner Minshew, a Jake Browning you brought up. I mean, even like a guy you like down in Miami who had a couple good games. Mike, was it Mike White, the quarterback?
White, yeah.
Like those are, you might as well keep Mac.
I want Mac just because I work with Shime and it would make him lose his mind.
It's just there's no way, Greg, because you said it. This is what Bill did, and we hated when Bill did it. So there's no way you sit there and go, okay, we have the number 3 pick, and now we're going to all of a sudden trade down. You can't do that when you could have just kept Bill. You could have kept Bill to do all the front office stuff.
I know.
There's no way. There's no way.
Just trot Bailey back out there then.
I don't care. There's no way.
Get ready, Wiggy. It's going to happen.
Elliot will, if he does this, I'm giving up my season tickets.